everyone knows the owners and yourself never stand still. And the next is off the pitch is a big stadium revamp, expanding the North Stand and an entertainment area. How excited about that, and what can you tell us about what's going to be there?
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. We've released and unveiled our plans for the development. Every year, there's always something new. Every year, because there's always a need to improve and evolve and grow. We don't stand still. We never stood still. The Etihad, we started somewhere, and every couple of years we will do something. Whether it's the Tunnel Club, whether it's the new stands, whether it's the seating, and now we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful development around it that's going to just enhance the whole area. It's going to be great for the fans, and it's going to bring, I think, positive revenue for the club. We're always in growth mode. We're never in contentment and pause and let's just, milk the asset. Because this is about building value and growing value. And it's about reinvesting consistently into this club. It's about redeveloping the Etihad. It's about building the CFA. It's about building a stadium in New York. It's about building an academy in Girona. It's about building an academy in Palermo. It's about investing in a club in Brazil, in Bahia, and taking it to win, hopefully, and compete at the highest level in South America. It's always about growth, and it's always about what's the next best thing, and it's always about creating and building true value for this great group.
First full summer tour for a while with COVID and major championships. How important, career in Japan are on the itinerary, how important is it that the club goes to these places and spreads the word, not just for Manchester City, I guess, but for the Premier League, UEFA, everyone, all the trophies will be there.
Of course. It's great for the club, and it's great for the brand of this club and our fan base that is now global. We are Mancunian at heart, but now we are global also. And if you look at the club when we did our tour last summer and we were in the United States, and I remember, I think we were playing a game in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And if you look at the number of fans, the Manchester City fans, in that stadium, I think it was 80,000 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It just showed us where Manchester City is today in the world of sports, not just the world of football, in the world of sports. This summer we're going to go to Japan, we're going to go to Korea. Incredible markets, but more importantly, incredible fans that love football, that love this club, and are helping growing our fan base to hopefully becoming one of the largest fan bases in the world.
And you talk about legacy and club history, and I know it's very important to you. And we're set to unveil another statue, I understand, with Colin Bell, Francis Lee, and Mike Summerby. Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? How important is it to remember those guys? You said the journey started, with David Silva and Aguero, but the journey before that, these guys were at the centre of that.
I've seen the statue, and obviously I've been very involved in this because it's something that is very personal for me. You have to recognize greatness, and you have to, recognize incredible people that have contributed to what we have today. We have a responsibility, and I think as caretakers of this great club. And while obviously the statues that have been built so far have recognized the modern day heroes of Manchester City, what this new statue is going to give is something that I think every City fan I think truly appreciates, which is the great history of this club, and it's represented with Francis, Colin, and Mike, and having them together in a hopefully a magnificent piece of art, I think is the least we can do for what they've done, and really leaving that everlasting legacy always there to remember that this club has an incredible history.
And of course, Mike got his OBE from Prince William this summer. He was instrumental in calming people down last night. I understand that, he was, calm down, we're doing okay. I mean, he is a special sort of human being, isn't he?
He is such an important part of this club in every possible way. I have deep gratitude for Mike and his role and his friendship, and I know this year has been so special for him in every possible way. To have him be with me yesterday at the end of that game, I think was very, very special.
And that's the beauty of City, isn't it? For people who don't understand the way the club works, everyone who's played a part in their history is always welcome back. Gail Clichy was there last night. Like I said, Fernandinho was there last night. Carlos Tevez, Sergio Aguero were there last night. They don't lose that connection, do they? And it's the same for people who are not superstars.
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday we had all these great players that have contributed so much to this club. They have a sense of ownership themselves, and they have a sense of pride themselves. They were winning yesterday, but it's not just them, by the way. It's also, I can tell you, there were so many executives, people that worked for us and have left, that have come again yesterday. People that have worked for us 15 years ago, 10 years ago, people that have just left us maybe a year ago. Everybody is, I think we have this in this club, a sense that you're always going to be part of this, and you could be still here, or you could move on to another challenge, but we will never forget, and we will always appreciate. And it was great seeing so many people from the past yesterday.
And if we could just move to the academy and the emergence of Rico Lewis, who was as happy as anyone last night. How impressed with his seamless arrival onto the big stage? And I mean, no one dreamt he would have probably played as many times as he did. I think he played 14 times this season.
Well, you said it. We have a small group in terms of the squad, but also we have shown in our academy how we have produced the best team in England, or the best teams in England over the last 5-6 years, consistently. So the talent is there. We have great players, great coaching staff, and that's producing players like Rico Lewis, like Cole Palmer, and many others. And we have a first-team coach in Pep Guardiola that gives young talent a chance, that has the courage and the open-mindedness to bring them in, give them the opportunity, and you have then great examples like Rico Lewis at 18. He's given the opportunity and he grasps it, and I'm very happy for him. I'm delighted for Rico, but I'm even more delighted for the academy, because it's showing us consistently that we are producing that sort of talent, and then we have a pathway for them. The ones that have and that we see have a pathway towards the first team. They get the chance, they get the opportunities. I mean, how many players? I mean, look at Phil Foden coming out from the academy. He's the most decorated player today, probably, in English football, at his age. Look at the minutes he's played, and look at the evolution, from 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We've been very careful in supporting Phil to get him to where he is today. And we'll do the same with Rico, we'll do the same with Cole, and we'll do the same with all the others.
We're surrounded with their trophies too. We've got the Premier League 2 and the under-18s trophies here, and they keep winning them year after year, just like...
It's the winning mentality, and it's that winning mentality that spreads across every team involved in this group.
But also, it's surely good for English football or world football.
Of course.
I mean, we had a player in the Burnley team that came up, 2 players in the Sheffield United team that have come up. So it's not just Manchester City and the individuals that benefit, but the game benefits from the professionalism and the skill of Manchester City's coaches and scheme.
Absolutely. I think that professionalism, that level of development, and then the carefulness. I mean, we're very careful in how we developed these young players. And that's respected by the entire industry, which is why they're being targeted. Today, why is everybody scouting City players? Well, they're good, of course, but it's not just because they're good. It's because they know we have a philosophy, we have a system, we have a track record of producing incredible, talented players, champions, and that some players end up obviously with us in the first team. Others end up going and having great careers.
So when we talk about trebles, there's not more than one treble in the club this season. So the club has now won PL titles at first team level, EDS and under 18 level. Have won the top trophies in those 3 competitions for 3 years running, each 3 trebles.
So think of that for a moment. A triple treble across all levels, or most levels of a professional football within a club. It's, I mean, this says the story. This says it all. It says it all about what we've been saying, which is about how our academy continues to produce and to match what we're doing at the first team level. And here, you know, the triple treble shows you this is across the board. And I think is a testament to everyone in this academy we have. We have an incredible academy. We are producing the best football in England. We're producing the best talent in England. And we're doing it consistently, and we're doing it hand in hand with the first team, which is kind of the, I would say, the essence of day one when we built CFA, was how to keep the academy and the first team all in the same place and create that continuity and that togetherness.
And if we talk about consistency and apply that to the women's game, no silverware for them this year, but you know, a long unbeaten run in the season, 4th place, development of some young talent. Where do you see the women's team at the moment and the game's progress as a whole on the women's side of things?
Well, the women's game has certainly evolved in a way I didn't expect in this speed. It's really evolved very fast, and it is certainly something that we're very focused on. My daughter Lulu reminds me every day that the women's team has to be a focus.
She's here with you?
Oh, she watches every game.
Yeah.
She doesn't miss a game, and that tells me, I think it's a great reminder for me and for all of us that the game is arrived. The women's game has arrived. It's real. Its fan base is growing. You're seeing it in every game. You're seeing it in the stands. You're seeing it with the quality of the football. Our women's team has always been, again, very consistent, always there, always competitive. I think we will look at this season as a positive season in the sense that we were very competitive all the way till the end. We're going to come back. We're going to come back. We're going to support this team. We have a great manager. We have a great core group of players. And we have a commitment from the organization to help this group continue to grow, continue to improve, and compete and win, as was with every single team within the group.
And it's not really fair to pick one player out, but I'm going to, because the women's equivalent of Erling Haaland would be Bunny Shaw,
yeah,
who's had a remarkable season, breaking records of her own. How impressed are you when you...
Very impressed, very impressed. She's an incredible striker. Again, incredible leader within the group, and has played an amazing part of this journey of this season. But as you said, it's also not just her; it's the group as a whole. We have a very, very talented group to build on.
Let's talk about the wider family now. Finally, for the final bit of the chat, the CFG. You've spoken quite a lot about it during the previous bits of the interview, but. Can we start in the USA? Mm-hmm. New York City came of age, champions 2021, Eastern Conference final 2022, and now the stadium projections have been produced, printed, delivered, shown to people. I mean, that's a momentous moment, isn't it? Finally,
I can say here in this case, finally. This has been a very long and agonizing process. Not easy to build a stadium in New York City. Very, very hard. It's very important to have your stadium, you know that, in any team. We've built, I think, a great organization, a great club, a great fan base in New York, and now we're going to give this team a wonderful stadium.
How will it impact on the community, the fans? You've mentioned them, but just the impact of having that stadium, that centre for them?
Oh, I mean, it's critical. It's crucial. I mean, today we're playing effectively in another team's stadium, and by the way, another team that doesn't play football. We're playing in a baseball stadium. So of course, I think what we've done, given the constraints, has been incredible. But this team needs its stadium, and that will add tremendous value to the community. It will create jobs. It will create, I think, a home to this great club, and that's critical.
And magic happened in Melbourne again this season. Premiers for I think was it the third straight A-League?
Third straight again. You know, you look at it in a wage-controlled environment. Our ability to show consistent success, just again, is a testament to the management and the philosophy we have as a group. You know, great team. You know that in any competition to win 3 in a row, and to be there 3 in a row. Of course, we weren't successful in the grand final last week, but you know that's football. You know, in the finals are 90 minutes, and it's different than when you're playing a league. In a league, inevitably, the best team wins over 38 games, 24 games, whatever the number of games. Most of the time, the best team wins. In a final, it's 90 minutes. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. And when it does, it's great. And when it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, Melbourne, unfortunately, over the season, were the most consistent team. But in the grand final, they weren't successful.
We've talked about success in the group in Melbourne and New York City and the excitement there, but it's not always a bed of roses, is it? Owning 12 or 13 football clubs, there's going to be some disappointments along the way. How do you characterise some of the disappointments this campaign?
Of course. I mean, it's part of football. Football is about winning, and it's also about losing. And in both cases, it's how you behave after you win and how you behave after you lose. And when you have 13 clubs and when you're operating all over the world, you're going to have, in many instances, challenges. I mean, listen, we're always dealing with a challenge here or there. Look at Girona as an example. We invested in Girona. We took the club from the second division, La Liga to La Liga, and then we got relegated. That was a big challenge for us. But guess what? We dissected the issue. We analyzed it. We did what we needed to fix the challenges, and then, Girona went back to the first division through hard work and on a well-planned and thoughtful approach, and now they're a solid team in La Liga. So there's going to be ups and downs. Troyes. We invested in Troyes. We took it to the first division, and now this season they've had a very disappointing season, and they've got relegated. It is what it is. It's a challenge. We'll deal with it. We'll figure out what went wrong over there. We'll put a plan, and we'll get the club back up and running. It's part of the game, and whenever there's a step back, it happens. But then you look at the next step forward, and the 2 steps after that. Mumbai has been a great story. We won the league, then we didn't. Yokohama, Melbourne, wherever we are in the world. Montevideo has been challenged also. So you deal with that, and it's part of the business, and it's part of the football.
I don't think it's a major surprise that there are other groups trying to do what we do and have done so successfully. Can you just run us through the rest of the acquisition in Brazil you mentioned briefly, and plans for CFG?
So we continue to grow. We continue to grow in a very thoughtful manner. Last summer, Palermo joined the group. Palermo, again, great history, great legacy, great region, great club. Difficult few years, and we came in, and now Palermo has gone from Serie C, the third division, to Serie B. And again, I think we have a blueprint of what we do. We support the club, we put the management, we get the academy in place, we put the infrastructure in place, and then the team grows. And there's no reason why you shouldn't expect Palermo very soon, hopefully in Serie A. And Palermo, again, is a big team. It's a big club. A lot of aspirations we have for Palermo. Latest acquisition is in Brazil. Brazil is obviously where all the talent, the best talent in the world, is coming out of Brazil. And to have now ownership in a great club in Bahia, again, similar to the Palermo story, in the sense that great history, but modern in the last couple of years, a challenged history. We've come in, and now we're going to support the team as it goes up the ladder and goes back to the great position as one of the best teams in Brazil. It fits perfectly within our group, and of course in one of the most important countries in the world, in Brazil. So this is going to be another very big club within the group. and a club we're going to be spending a lot of time and focus in developing.
And any others in the pipeline?
It's always about growth, and it's about you grow, you pause, you get things in order, and then you start the next step. And it's one step at a time, one step. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going, and we're going to keep investing, and we're going to keep growing value, and we're going to keep bringing happiness to every community and every club we have in the world, and hopefully we'll keep bringing success in every club and team we have around the world. It's been a great journey over the last 15 years, but I'm excited about the future, and it's about now the next 10, 15 years too.